this is gonna segue perfectly, man. Who is responsible for holding black women accountable? Because clearly they can do whatever the fuck they want. So
Might as
I'm
well
just a
speak.
girl. Can you explain this? Because your whole platform is about holding black women accountable, and you have gotten a lot of pushback, specifically from black women who have tried to, out you. They done try to Google your man and find out his social security number, leak it online and shit like that. So again, when a lot of the criticism is that when men have a platform and they talk about women, women say it's not a man's job or responsibility to hold black women accountable. Black women need to hold women accountable. Clearly, that's not a thing. So, what's your thoughts on this topic?
Honestly, like you said, it's no one. No one can hold black women accountable. Because it's all really BS when we say it's very cliche to say let black women hold us accountable. Black men mind your business, but we can't. Black women, unfortunately, we have adopted this mentality that I can do whatever I want to do and can't nobody tell me anything. And this is why we are where we're at. So when we try to have these conversations and try to hold each other accountable, you do get it out of that. Well, it's not my job. It's not your job. Mind your business. And I think we live in a very selfish, egotistical society now that nobody cares. We don't care. I care about my sister, but her friend, I don't care about her but I can see her going downhill, about to get hit by a bus. Well, it ain't my business, right? So I think if you're a black woman and the whole black woman accountable, you have to be ready to fight, because it's going to come. It's going to come with a lot, just to say, sis, I don't want to see you out here doing that. And anybody who knows my platform, I'm always thinking about how young girls are being influenced. So what us grown women are doing, it's influencing these girls to do these out of control, I don't care attitudes. They have the most disgusting attitudes, and you can't even check them because they have their moms who say I could do whatever I want. So can't no one hold us accountable. No, not a black man, a white man. Your white boss probably, that's probably the only one who can tell us what to do because he pay us. A gay man can tell us what to do. That's kind of, it still revolves around, if it's a black woman or a black man, a straight black man, we don't want to hear it. And it's unfortunate. We are really in a place where we don't even realize how bad off we are. We don't even, a woman who has it all figured out. And I'm saying, sis, I can help you. And you say, I don't need your help. I'm gonna do what I want to do. But I'm watching you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, and it's not working. So instead of saying, you know what, sis, you're right. Let me take heed to this. I'm gonna fight because can't nobody tell me nothing.
So let me start here with this question: who do you think can hold black women accountable?
Are we talking to Biotic now? I don't have an opinion on that. I feel like to each his own. Maybe their community, I don't know. Maybe their friends, their mom, whoever their support system is. That's who can hold them accountable. So that's my intake on that.
Okay. What's your thoughts?
I would say due to experience, it will probably be a village. I feel like people take heed to certain people, certain mentorships, and can be very adaptive depending on their nurture and their background, what they've been exposed to. So I do believe that it's hard to hold black women accountable for certain things. But I do kind of agree with the to each. I agree with both of you, honestly. It's a to each his own, because I've had experience with my mom, even with her giving me feedback and from her experience. And I feel like a lot of times they try to implode or tell you what they've been through and try to place it on you. Like, I've been through this, so don't do this. It's like, just because your finger burned when you touched the pot don't mean mine's will. So I feel like a lot of people, they want to try it. It's like a trial and error in life. And sometimes you need to experience before you can really be adaptive to it. You can't just take somebody's word.
Burn-proof fingers?
I'm just saying, you never know. But sometimes you need to experience what somebody is trying to recommend rather than just taking their recommendation and running with it. So let me feel the burn, and then I'm like, all right, you was right. Let's move forward. Rather than me actually saying, she said it's hot. It don't really look that hot. But I'm going to just run with it. So I think it's a trial and error type thing. Okay. I'm using the pot as an example.
No, I got you. Yes. What's your thoughts?
I believe we're all responsible for ourselves. We are here. We are not put here to live someone else's life. We're not put here to live somebody else's journey. We're not here to grow our mother's garden. We learn from experience, and we are responsible for ourselves. You can't blame somebody else for what you do. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that we are accountable for our actions. We live and we learn. Sometimes we make wrong decisions, but it's us who have to pay for it, not somebody else. So we are responsible for us and our actions. Women, Black women, whoever it is, I am responsible for myself. She responsible for herself. She responsible for herself. She responsible for herself. So if how she think is how she thinks, she got to be responsible for what comes with that. That's for her. That's not for me because I don't feel that way. So I'm responsible for me. She responsible for her. Everybody responsible for themselves.
Yeah, our community. This is why I be like, our community be in trouble because we got motherfuckers that be thinking like, well, what's your thoughts on this? Like, it was crazy.
I would say that I think that is a detriment, first of all, because we should be, if we want to build community around our neighbors, I should be able to tell you something, you should be able to hear it, and vice versa. And as a father to a young girl and boys, what I do is going to affect their lives. So if we sit here and say that we are only useful for ourselves or we're responsible for what we do for ourselves, I can't sit here and agree. I'm going to be responsible for my sister walking up and down the street, my homegirls, my mama, cousins, nieces, and that just don't stop. And whatever they do is wrong, I'm gonna let them know, and I want them to do the same thing for me because that's how we build community.
That's okay. When one says that you ask who's responsible for, what was the question?
Who is responsible for holding Black women?
I'm with a Black woman. I have a Black woman. I have a Black mother. I have a Black auntie. I'm naming multiple Black women that I'm responsible for.
That's fine.
And I will hold them accountable.
That's okay.
And the same
it's
thing.
Okay to give advice, and it's okay to it's not limited. You ask who's responsible for Black women's ideas on what did you ask? Your question?
Who's responsible for holding Black women accountable?
Yes, that's all you asked.
It's
not saying.
No, it's not. He is. He's saying
I am.
He is
No, that's not okay. But I'm just saying it's not limited to that.
Why not?
I'm saying that it's not just limited. Me saying that we're responsible for ourselves does not mean that's it. Like, doesn't mean that I can't give advice to somebody else. I'm saying that my choices, I'm responsible for what the choices that I make. I'm not saying that I won't give advice to somebody that I'm seeing going the wrong way. Of course not. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. I'm answering your one question. It doesn't limit me to that in every aspect. There's other aspects of that.
But you ain't saying
because I don't have to. Because you asked me one question. You didn't say, am I responsible for my aunties and for young women? Of course.
They not Black women?
Of course. But I'm responsible for my actions as a person. I'm not living anybody else's life. If I see somebody going the wrong way, of course I'm going to help them. Like, one question does not apply to the whole thing.
He didn't ask you who's responsible for holding you accountable. He said who's responsible for holding Black women.
Me. I am responsible for holding myself as a Black woman.
You talking about yourself. We're not talking about
Bro,
you.
how can I... My love, you're not responsible for her or him or this person. Like, you ask who's responsible for holding a Black woman accountable.
Not a Black woman.
He said Black
women.
It's
okay.
It's a general.
Me. I'm responsible
for
about
holding yourself.
myself. Yeah, because oh my God, God bless. Because I can't control other people. If I see somebody and I want to give advice and I see them going the wrong way or I see a better way for them, of course I'm going to offer that to them. Right. But I'm not responsible for their decisions. They're on their own journey.
That's not what the question asked you. If you're responsible for their actions.
He asked me the question that he asked me that
if you say you've seen something,
but it's not limited. This is what I'm saying. It's not limited. My answer, it doesn't mean like what he's saying. Oh, I'm responsible for my auntie and my mother and my sisters. So am I. But just because I say that I'm responsible for myself, yes, because I'm responsible for my actions. But that doesn't limit me to say that I'm selfish and I don't care about my community. That's not that. Like, we don't need to attack each other for just answering one question.
Nobody's attacking you. I'm trying to explain the question to you.
I'm just saying that I didn't say that. I'm saying we don't need to, just because I'm answering the question specifically that was asked. Like, it doesn't make, just because I say yes to this doesn't mean there's a no to everything else.
All right. What's your thoughts on this thing?
Silly.
Real silly.
Women versus men all the time. Like,
there's nobody. I'm trying to explain the question to you. You clearly didn't understand the question.
You. And all right, clearly I didn't. So
can I elaborate on this? I think that this is an issue that we have that we as women can't speak in general. We always make it about like us, right? So when we talk about, it could be anything. Like, what do you think about cars? Well, I don't like cars. It's like, well, in general though, like. Let's talk about cars in general, not like your car doesn't work right or this. So when we try to talk about as a whole, it still goes back to like me, what I can't do. If we talk about, again, as a whole, how do we hold us accountable?
Right.
How do we do better as a whole? Because what one of us does, it affects us all. I don't know why we don't want to, like, we act like that doesn't exist. Like, we are viewed, I don't care me being married or not married, white people see us all the same. It doesn't change. Like, we get lumped in one group. We can't say, well, I don't qualify, I'm over here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they see us all. And if we keep painting this narrative as one, and we live in this very much, I only hold me accountable. Yes, I'm accountable for my actions, but at the same time, I still want to hold my sister accountable and let her know, like, sis, that's not cool. Especially if you come to me and telling me. A lot of women don't even tell their friends that they wrong.
Right.
You'll sit there and be like, well, it ain't my fault. I mean, we'll let her tell the whole story, and you know she wrong, and you won't say anything. And a lot of women can't, or they won't, because they're afraid they'll get attacked. They'll get cursed out. They'll lose a friend over holding their friend accountable.
Right.
And that's kind of where we're at. We can't.
Yeah, I think just in general, why it's important to even have this conversation about holding people accountable is because when you don't hold people accountable, they tend to repeat the same mistakes that this is why we get that generational curse of keep want to be a baby mama instead of a wife, and because nobody's holding you accountable for your actions, like, you know what I mean? Now you prioritizing a baby mama life, whatever the case is. Just like on the show, a lot of times we have Black women who say they don't feel protected by Black men. I think as Black men, it's our responsibility to make sure we do a better job at making sure our women are feeling protected. Now, if I had that mentality, damn, you know what, that I'm responsible for myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? All Black women are speaking out to us. I can't think individually about something like that. You get what I'm saying? So whether they're not talking about me or whatever the case is, I still have to hold other Black men accountable when I see them not doing shit. These niggas hold me accountable all the time when I do some fucked up shit. Like, I'm not gonna be like, they're not gonna be like, well, that's him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's responsible for himself. So I think in order to get back to that community where we all can collectively hold each other without getting offended, without feeling like somebody's attacking us, you know what I mean? So let me get to this next topic.
I do want to ask you though, really quickly,
Yes.
Since you have such an open mind, and do you think that is another way that Black men should approach these type of scenarios?
You mean, like, as far as, like, trying to hold Black women accountable?
Yeah.
I wish I could say that there was a different way that you can go about it. I just think we are in such a bad place. I don't think that there's really anything that you can do. Honestly, I don't think you could say it soft. You could say, sweetie, baby, and it would still be like, why you call me baby? Like, it's still honest. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like this I don't care attitude, this very masculine, I could do what I want, is so deep in us that I don't really know what Black men can say. Because even just the thought of how the view of Black men already is like, you can't win, because Black women view Black men in such a negative way. So even when you try to say something nice, you're already going to be attacked because you're a Black man trying to say something.
And just real quick, what kind of like pushback have you been getting, with your platform? Like, what kind of things are you seeing on your end? Like, what kind of comments are you getting, or what kind of, like, threats are you getting?
Yeah, I mean, the pushback is always mind your business. That's the go-to, like, or why do you care? And it makes me realize, like, these people really don't care. And it's 99% Black women who, in my opinion, view me a certain way, I guess, based on maybe how I look or my life, from what they believe to be something. But a lot of it is, again, mind your business. Why do you care? Let us do what we want to do. Like that. And that's like, are we serious? Or they, your husband's cheating. They just go with it could be anything. You could be talking about the sky being blue. They'll say, well, I hope your husband cheats on you. Or it could be anything. Anything, because you don't want to hear the truth. We can be talking about things that are really, really important. Like how we are, our health is not the best as Black women. We need to do better in that department so we could live longer for our children, for our grandchildren. And you'll get attacked for that. It's like, you can't say anything to want the betterment of Black women. And again, I say this all the time. I'm always talking about how we are the role models for young girls. If you don't care about, if you don't care, then do your thing. Right. But it's always the ones who don't care that don't want me to not care. And it's like, I'm just not that person. I'm a school counselor, so I work with kids. It's no way I cannot care. It would be almost, hypocritical for me to do what I do and not care. I'm seeing their mothers, I'm seeing their grandmothers. Their mothers are older than me and they're 17 years old. And, so it's a cycle.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I didn't know it was going to get this spicy on this show, man. I was always going to have a nice conversation, like, you know what I mean? It is nice for the most part. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe if y'all not already subscribed.